Good evening, and we are here tonight. Tonight is a special night because we are going to um, have tonight's discussion uh, graced by our very own um, life coach that will be taking the country by storm really, really soon. And you all know her as Coach Yanette. Um, and so and she's here tonight. I'm just trying to um, make sure that you all can see her as well as I can see her. Okay. And thank you all for tuning in um, tonight. I'm just trying to, to just, she's right there in the waiting room. I'm just trying to make sure that I have her where we all can see her. And let me just figure that out there. And have her on the show. Okay. So that's there. And just trying to bring her in. I don't know why it's not bringing her in. It's always something, but we're going to get it together. I did all of this practicing. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. Is that it? No, can't be it. And again, could be. Okay, let's see. It says the layout. I have my guest. There she is. Okay. All right. I got it now. I think. Yes, I see her. Okay, hello. All right. Hello. Okay, I just got to
Hello.
get hello everyone. That's the YouTube. So now we just got to get um the Facebook family in on the party. And it's right here. Okay. Right. Okay, she should be. All right. It's going to be. Can I see her? Let me see. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. First thing I have to do is get that noise down. Let me just put it together. All right. Okay. Hello, Miss Janet.
Hi, Thais.
How
Hi,
are
Coach.
you?
Good evening, Coach Thais. I'm doing good. How
I'm
are you?
very excited. Um, I am. I'm just so say hello to your YouTube family and Facebook family.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's great to be
All
on the
right,
show, and I hope what I have to present will be beneficial to you. You
all
can
right.
have some takeaways.
Okay. Well, let's get right on in it. This is Coach Yanette Vanessa, as you all know her. Uh, and she is going to be presenting tonight, and she's going to help us um, just make sure that we are doing the right thing to make sure our bodies feel loved. Okay, so without further ado, take it away, Miss Yanette.
So, I'm here to talk about 4 tips that I feel that is necessary to, you know, as part of your self-care, and it's quite beneficial for your health and overall well-being. So and those four tips are, I'll touch on, and I won't be with you for long. I'll touch on sleep, nutrition, exercise, and hydration. So those are the four topics that I'll touch on this evening. And I would like to start with sleep. How much sleep do we really need? And I know that's a very it's a everyone has an opinion about how much sleep an adult person needs. Some say it's 7 to 8 hours. Some say 7 to 9 hours. However, the fact is, we live in a society where sometimes it's not possible to have that many hours of sleep. So, personally, what you have to assess what I do for me, and I'll share with you. You assess your needs, and if you find that after sleeping for 6 hours you're still tired, then that's a clear indication that you may need a little more. So it would be helpful to, if you can, go to bed a little earlier so you can have a little more sleep, and assess how you feel in the morning. If you wake up tired, then maybe more is needed, or you didn't have such a restful night, or there may be other factors that you should consider. But and also it's helpful to go to bed at the same time every night as much as you can, because we know life isn't perfect, and it's not linear. So sometimes you're good with a set schedule and sometimes you're not. So but if you can stick to the same schedule as often as possible, it will be helpful in maintaining a good sleep pattern, um, and feeling good in the morning. You know, well rested and ready to take on the day and to do what you need to do, and have the optimal energy needed for whatever it is that you do. You know, in terms of work, if taking care of your families or such like. Um, and also, I did a little bit of research from the Sleep Foundation, and they suggest that the how much sleep we need mean has to should take into consideration our overall health, our daily activities, and our typical sleep patterns. And some questions to consider are you productive, healthy, and happy on 7 hours of sleep? And that's something that I mentioned not too long ago, that you need to assess yourself personally to determine what your needs are, because your needs would be different to my needs. Also, if if you have you noticed that you need more sleep in order to get yourself into gear and to really function efficiently during the day. So that's another thing to consider. Also, do you have any existing health issues that interrupts your sleep pattern? You know, how is your energy level during the day? That's also something to consider. For me, I'm an early riser, so if I don't get at least 6 hours of sleep, I'm tired during the day. And also I exercise in the morning. So I need at least 6 good hours of rest in order to function, to do what I need to do with physical activity, and also to work, and any other extra chores or tasks that I have to do during the day and to function at my optimal level. So that those are critical, you know, lack of a better word, critical tips to consider when you are uh, to determine how much sleep do you actually need and what works best for you.
I
Um,
think that many of us, we lay down, we even go to sleep, but we may not get sound sleep, enough sound sleep. Are there some things that we can do to make sure that we get sound sleep?
yeah, such as not to take stuff that would stimulate you before bedtime, such as taking electronics with you in the bed. If you can avoid doing that, um, yeah, that would be helpful. Also, be mindful of the watching television in bed. There's, I know, some people don't have a TV in their bedroom, and that's important because it would there's no urge to watch TV in bed, and to further stimulate you instead of bringing you down so you can go into the sleep state. Um, Also, sometimes you, you can.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Also, yes, sometimes listening to um, meditative sounds. Sometimes it all comes down to knowing what your needs are, in order for you to relax so you can fall asleep. I know for me, if I should fall asleep with the TV on, it I don't sleep well at night. Although I know it's on, but I'm in the sleep realm, but it doesn't register that I should take the TV off, and so that prevents me from sleeping soundly at night. So I'm intentional with making sure that that doesn't happen.
I know me. I I like to have things, more quieter activities um, in the evening before going to bed, so that I just drift right on off. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll do all of my loud stuff, and my home is louder, you know, earlier in the evening, but towards, time when everyone goes to sleep, things get a lot quieter. Okay.
Right.
There's no, if you're watching TV, you're turning the TV down or you're turning it off. If you're on your phone, and if you have to be on your phone late, in my house, everyone, kind of brings their conversation down, so that everyone else can fall asleep, so that the house is overall quieter.
Right. Right. Um, well, for me, I don't have the consideration of others around me, so it's all about what my actions. So making sure that I do what's necessary for me. And from I know even if I want to watch some TV just before I go to sleep, I make sure I watch the game show or a comedy. I do not watch anything with violence, to stimulate me, nor do I watch the news. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
look
me too.
something that would be common and just for entertainment purposes. And also for the caffeine drinkers, if you know caffeine stimulates you, it may be something that you want to avoid later in the day or at night from drinking because that will keep you up. So, it's knowing yourself and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Did-
What about those that um they know it's time to go to bed, but they got that last bit of work that they got to do, or they got to make that last phone call, you know, before so that they can meet their deadlines and everything. What about those people? Uh, what can they do?
Well, sometimes it's hard if, it depends on what that deadline is, and it may be critical that you meet that deadline. But I think the whole point is making sure that you don't have too many instances of that, because as I said before, life isn't linear. So sometimes you're good and you can stay on track, and sometimes other things um, command your attention. So as long as it doesn't happen every night, then you make adjustments, you know, for the next night or the following night, such like. Um, and if it's possible, and I mean, again, it depends on what your responsibilities are. There are people with families and children of different ages and stuff like that. So it's difficult to say I am going to go to sleep at a certain time. So you just do the best that you can until you can do better.
I know for me, when I know that I have to be up extra late, or I have an event, or I'm going to be out late, and so I'll be getting to bed later. I try to plan it so that I don't lose too much sleep. And I also, like on the weekends, I will sleep maybe a little later to recoup that sleep that I may have lost, so that I can still
Hmm.
function. So,
Right.
I'll plan it. Like if I know I'm going to be going out and, going to get in late, maybe a couple of days before, I will sleep, maybe 30 minutes extra or hour extra. The night before, I might go to bed really, really early because I know I'm going to be up really, really late the next day. So that it kind of balances out. I still get my 6 hours of sleep in, you know.
Yes. Yes. Um, and that's great that you have that flexibility to, you know, make adjustments where, to get your required amount of sleep. Um, but for someone who doesn't have that flexibility, you just hope to do better the next night. you know?
It's true.
Yes. I mean, some of us have to get up at a set time every day, especially during the week. So recovering, sleeping late is not an option. So, like I said, with everything, you just do the best that you can and be mindful of what your needs are.
So true.
So,
So true. And knowing yourself,
yes.
uh, I know that for me
Yeah.
personally, I need 6 hours of sleep. That's it. Not 6.5 hours, not seven, 6 hours flat. If I'm if I lay in the bed, I don't even have to be asleep. If I lay in the bed past 6 hours, the next day I'll be up for a whole 24 hours. I have that
Wow.
much energy, and so when I knowing that about myself, um, it makes it easier for me to plan and schedule out. So if I know I'm going to be out the next day, really, really late, I'll lay there, extra 30 minutes and or an hour, and I'm up the next day, 24 hours and not even tired or anything, you know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd be really wired
Oh yeah,
and ready to go, full of energy because you've gotten your optimal amount of sleep. And so that's the conclusion is get to know what you need, what your needs are, and determine what your required amount of sleep is, and that's what you aim to do.
exactly.
Mm. Okay, so I will move on now to nutrition. I mean, there's a lot that we can say concerning nutrition, um, but again, it varies from person to person what your individual needs are. But there are some basic, tips that is across the board, helpful for everyone, such as making good choices, the better choices in terms of your nutrition, staying away from sugary drinks, um, and fried foods. And even if you indulge it, it's just as a treat now and again, but not as part of your regular diet. Because once you know, you pay attention to your nutrition, it it comes with so many benefits, such as your health benefits, and you feel better, your gut health is greatly improved, and you have more energy. So I will go through some guidelines that I found, in my study, and it talks about following a healthy dietary pattern at every life stage. And for those of us who know that we need some improvement, it's never too late to start to make adjustments to have a healthier lifestyle in terms of your diet. um, and also, like as I was saying before, each of us have different needs, so you have to know what you require and focus on that. um, you know some of us are not big on vegetables, right? Which is, it's important to eat a lot of veggies. However, if eating it is an issue, then maybe if you juice it, that you still get the benefits of of what you need from the veggies.
I know me, um, when it comes down to veggies, I'm a foodie. I I enjoy food. um,
Mm-hmm.
and just looking up different ways that you can prepare different vegetables, different foods. Like me personally, I don't eat any red meat. Okay, I'll eat chicken, fish, and turkey.
Okay.
But because I have a limit in terms of what um, kinds of foods that I eat, I'm always looking for different ways to prepare those foods. So, for example, in my home, we eat a lot of um, chicken, fish, and turkey. Uh, I can do personally. I can cook chicken any kind of way except fry it. And so when yeah, I don't know. I just you don't
That's
want
not
fried
your
chicken from me.
thing.
No, fried chicken. You do not. You will not get fried chicken from me. You might get something close to it, like oven baked, but you won't get fried chicken from me. Okay. Knowing that about myself, though, I found other ways that you can prepare chicken, so that it's a different meal every time, you
Right.
know.
To keep it
So
interesting because you get
yeah.
bored quickly,
Oh yeah.
and then when you get bored, you may lapse into on, making poor choices in your nutrition because you're so bored with the eating the same thing over and over. And for
Same thing
me,
with vegetables. Yeah.
right, I eat a lot of vegetables and grain. So I'm in the process now of trying new recipes because I know I will get bored eating the same thing over and over because I'm somewhat limited because I don't cook any meat. So it's vegetables, it's grain, it's legumes, you know. So I have to keep it interesting. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to stay on track. And some of the suggestions um, that they make are the veggies, the dark green, red, and orange veggies are good. But for me, I can attest that the most some of the most nutritious vegetables are the green leafy vegetables, dandelion, collards, kale, spinach. So, uh, and the squash, the butternut squash and the spaghetti squash, those are very nutritious and healthy options. And beans, peas, and lentils, those are the loaded. Those are protein loaded with a lot of protein. So if you're vegetarian or if you're vegan, um, th- those options are very, beneficial for your diet. And fruit, whole fruit, fresh fruit, it's a great option. And it's a great option for breakfast. It's also a great option for a snack in between meal. You know, get your fruit in, and I will share some of my favorite fruit are pineapple, papaya, grapefruit, apples, mangoes, and all berries. So I always have that on tap, So
All
find what works for you and the fruit that you like, and enjoy
Also,
those.
don't be afraid to try different fruits. Um, Star fruit is
Yes,
delicious.
very good. Yes.
Jackfruit, and
Very, yeah.
jackfruit you can prepare it in different ways. I saw a recipe where you can prepare jackfruit and it tastes like meat,
It does, yes. Because as
and
the
with the
vegan, yes.
seasonings, yeah,
Yes.
and the
So
texture.
whatever flavor you put on it, it will take on that flavor. So yes, it's delicious. And mushrooms too.
Yes,
The
mushrooms.
portobello mushrooms and the um lion's mane mushroom, oyster mushrooms, they all the texture is a little more hearty, so it mimics that of meat. So you don't even miss eating meat if that's what you don't want to do. You can incorporate mushrooms into your diet.
And I also read that studies show that mushrooms um, have an ingredient in it or some kind of enzyme in it that wards off depression. So
Wow.
if you're feeling
Okay.
yourself getting a little down, you
Get
know,
some
you
mushrooms.
you
Yeah.
want to get some mushrooms or have that. If you're going to have a slice of pizza, put some extra mushroom on it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, or have a mushroom soup or something.
Yes. Yeah, it's so much a mushroom burger. You can
Yes,
do ground mushroom and simulate for ground meat as a substitute.
ground mushroom. You said.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm gonna write that
Yep.
down. Wait a minute. And
Yeah.
could you call out the different mushrooms again? Because
Li-
you called out
lion's
a couple
mane.
of them.
Yeah, lion's mane,
Okay.
oyster mushroom, and
Uh-huh.
portobello.
Right.
Yeah, the baby bella is good too.
Okay.
Yeah,
And all of
and
these
there's
different mushrooms can be ground and make uh to taste like meat.
the portobello, yes, but it, the bella is best
Okay.
to use for as the replacement for ground beef.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Um, Protein foods such as we touched on lean meats, poultry, eggs, seafood, beans, peas, lentils, and nuts. Um, those, that is very nutritious, and your body will thank you if you're able to make the adjustments to incorporate these things into your diet and to, make different, healthier choices. Um, and they talked about oils, but I I prefer olive oil and avocado oil. Sometimes I use coconut oil as well or ghee. Um, Oils
In terms
are
of cooking oils, correct?
cooking oil, yeah. So I cook with olive oil or avocado oil. Yeah. Before,
Okay.
try to use the natural oils over the synthetic. The vegetable oil is not as good. You know, um, or canola. Yeah, I don't use those anymore. I just focus on olive oil and avocado oil, coconut oil sometimes.
Okay.
And for people who's use dairy, I very rarely use dairy, but they, they suggest maybe fat free or low fat, but I really can't support that because um the fat free and low fat, they it has so many different additives in it that I don't know how nutritionally sound those milks are. So I'm not going to suggest that. But if that's what if you use dairy, then by all means choose whatever works for you.
Well,
And
I know that uh for people who might be dealing with lactose tolerance or uh excessive mucus buildup, there are alternative milks, which are not uh, m- milk based or dairy based at all.
yeah, it's
Um,
nut milk like almond,
yes,
cashew, hemp
oat,
milk, oat. Yeah, and also
rice milk.
you can make your own milk too. It's very easy. You know, let's say cashew, you get some raw cashew, you add water and put it in your blender, and you get a cheesecloth and strain it, and you have your own milk, and that's the best because even though in the store you would see, the cashew milk, the almond milk, the oat milk, and such like, when you read the ingredients, it does have chemicals in it for the shelf life, and that is not really good for our bodies. It has a lot of gum in it or acid acid in the milk and such like. So when you make your own milk, it's natural. It's just milk and water, the nut and water, I should say, and you make your own milk.
And if you're, for those who don't want to utilize milk per se, are there other foods that are high in calcium so that they can get their calcium and protein
They can
still?
get it from the vegetables. Yeah, you don't actually your calcium can come from the green leafy vegetables. You don't need dairy for calcium.
Sure don't.
Yeah, you don't. It's
Um,
it's it's a myth. You don't.
right.
Yeah. So
Even orange juice has
yes,
oranges have a high
has
calcium
yes.
uh, rate.
So the bottom line is in if your intake includes a lot of fruit and vegetables, you will have your calcium. You will have, green leafy vegetables, a variety of fruit. You eat the rainbow and you will be fine.
That's true. And
Yeah.
for those um, who love their cheese, um, there are alternative cheeses as well.
Yes,
Uh,
there's cashew cheeses and stuff like that. It might be an adjustment um to for the taste, but if you give it a try, you'll learn to like it. And
you
especially
even
since
you can season it to your liking.
yes, yes, absolutely. Because I mean, you've had vegan mac and cheese, right? Have you ever
Yes,
had that?
yes,
It's
I have.
quite delicious. And there's
Yes,
no dairy in there. It's quite delicious. So, it's all about an acquired taste because when you're accustomed to eating the same thing all your life and then you're making the switch, it's an adjustment. But if you give it a chance, your taste buds will adjust along with it. And then after a while, you would find like, oh wait, I really like this. This is good. And I'll share with you blueberries. I For years I did not like blueberries in its natural form. I would
that's
have
one of
them
my favorites.
smoothie, but I didn't like the texture in my,
Mm,
eating it. But then I decided I'm going to get over this, and I started to eat blueberries. And so 2 years later, it's about 2 years now. I'm able to eat blueberries without a problem, and I love it. So it's
mm,
all about what you tell your mind that you can do. It's your
yeah,
mindset. You
so
know,
true.
if you give it a try, and said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this, and it works. So, I mean, raspberry too. I only liked it in smoothies, and now I'm having it with my overnight oats and stuff like that in its natural form. And so, you know, I'm amazed that I do. But you know what? It's all about the mindset, and it starts in the mind. Once you make up your mind that this is what I will do, then you will do it. You know.
Um, I, like I said, I'm always open to taste and try new things. And so uh, just trying different fruits, different vegetables, different combinations. Uh, you'll be surprised what what you discovered that you like, as
Right.
opposed to what you know you like. And so that's always fun. I remember my son Josias. He made a vegan ziti. Okay, he's a cheesehead. He loves cheese, but it gives him a lot of mucus, so he had to find cheese alternatives. And he made this delicious baked ziti with using avocado for the cheese.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, we went at it. We went at that stuff. The baked ziti was a light greenish color, but
Mhm. Mhm.
that was the only difference.
Mhm.
It tastes great. You couldn't tell us that it wasn't cheese. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
delicious.
It is, and there's so much, so many alternatives out there now, and it's amazing. I mean, even for me, I eat mostly vegan food, and but I mean, I had tried it a few years ago, but if you someone had told me, uh, let's say a year ago, that you would be looking to be fully vegan, I said you crazy. But I figured out that that diet works best for me and how I feel, and so so all that's all I needed to get into the mindset that I can do this because it's beneficial for me. So, it's not for everybody, you know. Whatever you just make healthier choices. If you eat chicken, you just make healthier choices as
Right.
opposed to eating fried chicken every day or fried fish every day. So, and that's what you do. You know, we're all different and we have different needs, and we travel a different path. So, I'm not here to preach to someone that they should try to be a vegan. No, not at all. And then another thing that it would be helpful for us to limit it is the added sugars and the in the beverages and the saturated fat and sodium, and also to limit alcoholic beverages. Because while alcohol is, yeah, a nice glass of wine or a cocktail is good now and again, there's no nutritional benefit to alcohol.
And a
None,
lot of
none
calories.
whatsoever. A lot of calories. And if you have underlying health conditions such as diabetes or high blood pressure, it's something, alcohol it would be helpful if you avoid drinking alcohol. And should you have any, on rare occasions, yeah, because it's not beneficial to our bodies at all.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
you know,
sodium is everything, and the foods, the processed foods with a shelf life is loaded with sodium. So that's something that if to try to avoid as much as possible, to eat less processed foods.
right.
So,
I remember when I went and took a trip to Ghana. When I went over there, I was over there for 11 days. I They didn't have, all the food was fresh, freshly cooked. They didn't serve any processed food at all.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
and all the places that we ate and everything was fresh, fresh, fresh. And for those 11 days, not having any processed food at all, my body felt a whole lot different. I came back to the United States. I mean, I was floating. And I mean, the food was so delicious. I mean, I was
mhm.
eating everything that wasn't nailed down, literally. And I thought, oh, I'm serious. I thought I was going to come back with a few extra pounds, you know, that I couldn't check in the luggage department.
Mhm.
Um, but I, to my pleasant surprise, I not only did not put on extra pounds, but lost. I lost 5 pounds. And
Wow.
that really spoke to me. It's like, wow, we eat so much processed food here in the States, and it's like it's difficult to avoid it, but from
And
that
it's
experience,
addicting.
yeah, I learned, okay, I need to cut down my processed food, and eat more freshly cooked food and food that's live, you know. So the vegetables, the fruit, um, even the meats over there, you know, they they cook it fresh. We were at a resort where they had the a little farm not too far from us, and they would march the animals out early in the morning, like about 6 or 7 in the morning. They would march, walk the animals, the farm animals around so that they could get exercise. And if you were up and you were out, you could see them marching the animals around. So you would see 10 chickens walking in a row, and about 8 goats walking behind
Wow.
them, and then you would see the little chicks even walking with them, and the ducks and things
Mhm.
like that, right, in the morning. And then they would walk them again like about maybe 5 o'clock in the evening. And when they come bring them out again that evening, it wasn't the same number. So where you saw, what 10 chickens uh, that morning, that evening it might have been 5 or 3,
Okay.
and
Mhm. Mhm.
when you saw the 8 goats, uh, it might be 4, and we're looking and we're like, well, where did the other animals go? Um, what did you have for breakfast?
Right.
Oh, eggs, and with my toast or whatever. Oh, well, what did you have for lunch? Well, we didn't eat lunch there on the resort grounds. We were out, so we would eat at the restaurant or wherever we were touring, but we ate dinner there. And so they would say, oh, okay, what did you order for dinner? Oh, well, I ordered, this one ordered the lamb, and that one ordered chicken, and that one over there is having curry goat. Well, where do you think the animals went? They they sacrificed their lives
Mhm.
so that they could serve you as dinner. That's where they went. And we're like, oh, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but I mean, the food was so good, and it was
Yeah.
fresh like that. So, yeah,
Mhm. And it's easier on the digestive system because it doesn't have the preservatives
very
and
much so.
chemicals and all of that the bad stuff. So, you know.
Flush all of that out.
Yes. Yes.
When
So,
I was out there in Ghana, I was literally strung out on watermelon juice. I had to have either
wow.
watermelon juice or pineapple juice, and it was so fresh, not pasteurized, but fresh watermelon juice. They literally would stick the faucet thing in the watermelon, and turn it on, and the watermelon juice will come right out in the cup.
Wow.
Delicious. Oh my gosh. Um, Same thing with the pineapple juice. They had some kind of pineapple squeezer or crusher, and you they would cut the pineapple right there in front of you, and take it in the back and bring you back out your glass of pineapple juice. And oh my God, it was so sweet and
That's
delicious.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
would
amazing.
even orange juice. And when I got back here to the States and I had some orange juice, it wasn't the same.
Because
You
it's
know,
not, it's from concentrate, so it's
yeah,
made in a factory.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't even taste like the sweetness of the orange,
No,
so
because that was it's truly organic oranges.
really,
So it's a different taste. Because even here when the organic fruit tastes so much differently than the regular fruit, the non-organic.
it's so
Yes,
true. It's so true.
yes. So
Um,
we're moving right along, and the next topic I'll touch on is exercise, or I prefer to say movement, because you're not limited to exercising as in going to the gym or having a trainer. Simply walking is beneficial. Any form of movement, stretching, walking would be beneficial. But I mean, of course, if you're able to exercise in in a structured environment, by all means, um, it's a win-win. And I'll mention seven benefits to exercise, and one of which is exercise controls your weight. It helps to prevent us from packing on excess weight, and it helps us to maintain weight loss. And I can certainly attest to that, because my journey is about 2.5 years in, with where I finally figured out that I really need to be consistent with exercising, and so the benefits for me has been astronomical, where I lost the excess weight, um and it helps me to maintain my weight, because I've been weighing in the same ballpark for about a year and a half now. So I can attest that exercise helps you to maintain your weight. Of course, nutrition goes hand in hand with that too. But um,
and
but
sometimes
yes.
with weight gain and weight loss, the fluctuation in your weight, sometimes that has to do with the impact of hormonal levels in the
Yes.
body, especially with women,
Mhm.
women that are perimenopausal.
Mhm.
Um, they are approaching a menopause and their hormonal levels are fluctuating, and sometimes that causes a fluctuation in your weight as well.
Mhm.
So, exercise is a great way to not only maintain weight loss, but at least maintain a steady weight so
Right.
that it doesn't do all that fluctuating
Right.
up
Yeah.
and down.
Right. Um, and that's true, because it helped me in my perimenopausal state to control
Me
my
too.
weight. You know, so
Uh,
I like I said, I can attest to that. exercise is very it's helpful. The second point I'd like to mention is it combats health conditions and diseases, such as regular exercise helps to prevent and manage the following health problems: stroke, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, arthritis, falls because it strengthens you, um, and helps you to maintain your mobility, certain types of cancer, and metabolic syndrome. So, I mean, and it's helpful because there's a lot of people who have type 2 diabetes. Once they figured out the synergy into controlling what they eat and exercise, they're able to come off of diabetes medication and bring it under their condition under control. So that is tried and true. That exercise is so it's critical in preventing certain health conditions. And if you have, if you've been diagnosed with diabetes, it's not too late. Start getting to a regimen, whatever works for you, and it it will not hurt. It will only help.
That's true. That is so
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Um,
And
Exercise does help regulate bodily functions as well, so that your organs and your muscles and everything work
right,
uh, properly.
right,
Whereas, if you slack up on your exercise, or, you know, some people as they get older, they decrease their activity. And so they don't use their limbs as much, and
and
they're not as
so
active.
right, and arthritis sets in and it becomes chronic, and then they're more susceptible to falls because the joints become weakened,
Yes,
from lack of movement.
it's so true.
Yeah, and
Um,
also it helps to control your stress level. You know, um, especially we live in a very stressful society, and you need some sort of outlet to decompress and to manage the stress level. So even if it's just going to walk around the block, it's beneficial.
it's true.
And also it helps to curb control your anxiety. You know, and then when you're doing some sort of physical exercise for you, you're generally focused on that. So it gives you a time to take a break from whatever is going on in your life, so you can, get a little reprieve. So,
Right.
it's helpful.
Very much
Um,
so.
the third point, exercise improves mood. And as I was saying, it's helpful with, reducing your stress level. Um, it stimulates the brain chemicals that leaves you feeling happier and more relaxed and less anxious. And
And
also,
that's so true. Um, when you are less active, uh, number one, inactivity for long periods of time, it can throw off your blood circulation. And something as simple as blood circulation can have a tremendous impact on your body. When your blood doesn't
yes,
circulate all the way through to your limbs and your toes and fingers and everything, those appendages don't get the oxygen that they need. The muscles um, begin to atrophy, and so then you can't they won't work properly. They won't work like they used to. And that's
No.
why it's important for people who they tell diabetics, move around, especially, wiggle your toes and things of that nature, so that you can ensure full circulation throughout your limbs and appendages, toes and fingers and things of that nature. Also,
Yes.
exercise helps uh, prevent blood clots, because your
Yes.
blood, you're moving
Is
around. It's
moving.
your blood is not sedentary and in one place. And if your blood is in one spot for too long, it starts to coagulate and thicken,
Yep.
and
Yes.
then you have a fresh blood clot that you
Right.
didn't
And
know about.
sometimes you can develop deep vein thrombosis from, like, truck drivers. They always try to caution them to move as much as possible, especially the long haul truck drivers, because you could, if you stay in one position for so long, the blood coagulates, and you could, get, the blood clots in your legs and stuff like that. So movement is very, very critical. Yeah. Even if you have arthritis or you have a little bit of pain, you still should move, because some, we think if there's something is hurting, we shouldn't move it, but that's not true, because it will hurt more if we don't move. So
Exactly.
yes.
When you, especially with arthritis, the more you move it, the better it is, because when
Yes.
you move whatever the muscle is, that brings fresh blood, fresh oxygen to that muscle and to
Yes.
those joints, and it removes or prevents the stiffness from that muscle or that joint being held in that position for so long.
Yes.
And so by the time you get ready to move it, it's been in that position, it's kind of stayed in that position. And so when you go to move it, you feel pain, because it kind of just froze in that position, because you held it in that position for so long. But
Yes.
regular movement causes those joints and those muscles to be more fluid, more taut, and the blood can move through those joints and those muscles more freer, and carrying fresh oxygen, so that you can move even better. So
Yes.
I encourage people, move it or lose it.
Yeah. Yeah. A body in motion stays in motion.
Yes,
So yeah. Yeah.
our bodies were
Um.
designed for
For
motion,
yes.
a
Yes.
consistent, regular motion. Um, you know, back in ancient times when they didn't have cars, not everybody had a horse. They moved around from place to place on foot.
Yes.
And just because they got older didn't mean that they didn't still travel.
Right.
You know, and all throughout the Bible, the people walked from place to place, and they didn't have cars. There was no Uber. They didn't even have horses like that. They walked. And just that walking like that from place to place, and they climbed mountains, went through woods, forests and stuff like that, climbed hills. Um, Moses, he would climb up to Mount Sinai The man he wasn't a spring chicken.
No, he was
He was an
not.
old
No, he
man.
was not. Yeah, but he had the
Abraham,
ability.
yeah,
Yes.
because movement was a regular part of their lifestyle.
Right.
Abraham, he was an old man. You
Right.
know, he got with Sarah, and he was over 100 when he had his first child. Okay,
Exactly.
and he was traveling um, out of Canaan and going to different lands. He was on foot, and he was well over 100 years old doing that.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
That's
was.
right. So, just because he got older didn't mean that he shouldn't travel or he should stop moving.
Right.
He continued on
Right.
moving and walking and everything, and he lived to a ripe old age by today's standard.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So exercise, it boosts your energy. So you will find that after you've exercised, you if you took a class or whatever activity that you engaged in, you get that burst of energy and you can clean your house, do so much because you release all those endorphins, and so it give you a good natural shot of boost,
Yes.
of energy booster,
That, that is
to
so true.
and it promotes, give you some endurance to do so much, um, and I find there are times when I hadn't slept enough, but I went to my exercise class in the morning, and although I know to myself that I didn't have sufficient sleep after the exercise, I don't want to nap. I had
Right.
this a lot of energy, and I could get through the day, effortlessly. So and exercise delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and helps your cardiovascular system work more efficiently. So
Yes.
yeah, so and so it engages your heart and your lung, and so that produces the energy you need for the day. So
And so true.
the
It also is excellent for your nervous system, all of your systems, really.
mhm
But
mhm
exercise is really, really good for your brain, or instead of the word exercise, because I know a lot of people that don't like that word.
well, so
Movement,
movement,
you know,
intentional
is
movement.
intentional movement is very, very good for your brain. Um, Studies show that regular intentional movement is very good for hand-eye coordination. It also boosts memory retention,
Mhm.
and it also helps with basic cognitive activities. So, like memory recall, um,
Yes.
uh, talking,
Yeah.
taking tests,
And yeah.
simple things like that. Um, your brain can do those things much better and for longer period of time, even as you progress in age.
Yes. Yes.
So it's very, very beneficial for
Mhm.
uh, those uh, people who are um, in their silver and golden
See.
ages.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
And when you see them doing
exercise,
amazing things, yes.
intentional movement is great for you too.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
you're
it
never too
also
old to
never too old.
engage in intentional movements. I like that
No.
word, Yanet.
Intention. Yes.
And so what
Exercise.
different exercises do you like doing?
Well, I do a lot of weight training, cardio. I take a boxing class. I take
Right.
a step class and also and flexibility class, and that's all about stretching.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's different forms of exercise that I engage in. And people would ask, what do you do? And I would always tell them that if you're someone who have not, engaged in, exercise in the past and you want to find what works for you, I always suggest try different types of classes and see what grabs you, and that's the one you pick, and you start there. So
Oh, okay. And
yeah,
how often do you work out during the week?
6 days a week.
Okay. Yeah, you like your exercise. All right.
It's a part of it's a way of life because I've been doing it um yeah about almost 3 years now.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
it's it's part of it's my routine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I like to work out too, but I'm one of those people where I don't like the word exercise, but I do it. Uh, I the way I work out, I love dancing, and
okay,
so I do dance fitness
that's
and
intentional movement.
dance exercise. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have I go to dance practice twice a week. Um,
Mhm.
and then I I also choreograph and uh, uh, dance, do dance fitness with a group that I lead, and I do that once a week. So it's 3 times a week that I'm in
That's awesome.
intentional motion.
That
Uh,
that's that's awesome, and you may, and it's fun too.
oh,
You're
lots of
doing
fun.
this. Yeah,
I
it's
I
beneficial for you in a lot of
yeah,
things.
I don't, it doesn't feel like exercise, even though it's quite a workout. Um,
Right.
but dancing is another one of those total body exercises, like walking, like swimming,
Yes.
um, jogging. It's a total body exercise. Your whole body is engaged when you dance.
Yoga, whatever it is. Yeah, you find whatever it is that you enjoy doing and you do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It doesn't
and
have to
have
look,
fun with it.
have fun with it. It doesn't have to look like someone who's lifting weights in the gym or anything, because that might not be your thing. So don't let it deter you. Find what you
Right?
like, even if it's just walking, because walking is so is beneficial. I know I'm using the word beneficial a lot, but it
It
is what
is.
it is. It is
It is.
beneficial.
I
Yeah.
I don't do well. I do power walks. Um, but I do power walks for short distances. Maybe that's
Mhm.
what I
Mhm.
I I like taking the train or the bus when I have to, travel, go see my clients and things like that. And I power walk to the train station and from the train station to wherever my destination is. And I power walk, I put my music on, and uh, put have it playing in my ear. I usually use one ear, and I walk to the beat of the music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I usually walk to. I have certain what I call my power walk songs I like house music. I like all kind of music, but my power walk music is house music. And so I'll be going, and walking to the beat. So I'm walking really, really fast. It gets me
Mm.
to the train station so I can catch my train and everything. And I get a little workout in and I'm feeling good, at the same
Absolutely.
time,
Yeah, puts
So
you in a good
that's how
mood.
I get it in. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Also,
And
like if I'm going shopping or something, um, I'll have my music on, and as I'm walking, you know, up and down the stores in the mall or something like that. So, I'm getting some intentional movement in while I'm shopping
right.
stuff.
Yes.
And I even walk with my husband. Um, he
Okay.
and we power walk together, and
Hey.
stuff like that. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
And so that touches on the sixth point that exercise can be fun and social. And yeah,
yeah,
exactly as you were saying, you know, you listen to your music, you walk to the beat, so you're doing stuff that you enjoy doing while getting the benefits from it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like I'm, you know, depending on where I'm going, I might be uh 10 minutes from the train station. Um, or sometimes I might walk to the next stop, or if
Mm.
I'm waiting for the bus and the bus taking too long to come, I might walk to the next stop or walk until the bus, gets there, and I get my power walking like that as well. But,
Yep. And the social aspect of exercise is like for me, I take classes, and so I live alone, so I get to see people and, and chat, and it's a natural high, you know,
ah,
the social
nice.
aspect of it. Yeah. So and so I get to connect, and so you know it's our little family, the fitness family, and so you I get to see them and we chat with each other while we're there, and yeah, it's a connection.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, you can make friends.
Right, with similar
You know,
interests, and
similar
they can,
interests.
help
Exactly.
motivate you if you feel like you don't feel like going to the gym today. They can call you and be like, I'm here, so
Yeah, yeah.
why don't you come? That sort of thing.
Right.
That's so true.
And that's what it and well, I'm good with that. You know, if I don't see one of you know one of them may miss a class or two, and I would message and say, "Hey, you good? All is well? You're just checking up." Yeah, the
That's
accountability
excellent.
aspect, and yeah. So
Over
and
the summer and in the warmer months, that's when I do my dance fitness classes.
outdoors, yeah,
With
the
I do
hummingbird
it
class, right?
outside. Yes, I
Yes.
do it outside. I had so much fun this past summer doing the dunamis dance, workouts on the handball court, in the
Yes.
park, and
Yes.
met a lot of people doing that, and people kind of, made friends, and
Mhm.
became dancing partners, because that's what we were doing. We were doing
Right.
the line
Nice.
dances,
Yeah.
to very up tempo music, and just working it out and having a lot of fun. So I can't wait till the weather warms up and we can get back out there and do that some more.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Such an instant mood enhancer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I, I had did, like maybe one or two short videos just to, let people know, okay, I'm gonna be in the park and,
Mm-hmm.
come out there and work out with me. And it was just, the videos is like maybe about 5 seconds or so. But people were calling me talking about, oh, you know what? Can you make a video and I can work out at home just, with you on the video? And I'm like, I never thought of it that way. Doing, exercise video, dance fitness videos for people who are at home. That's something to think about, though. That's
Mm-hmm.
something to think about.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Maybe
The
you,
the virtual
perhaps,
platform.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
coach, can videotape you working out at the gym or what have you, and so that people can join you at home.
Well, that would my trainer. That's his platform, so that wouldn't work for me
Oh,
though.
okay. You have a
Yeah.
trainer. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
All right now.
I go to a fitness center, so yeah. I don't it's not a gym, it's a fitness center.
Oh, okay.
So so yeah. So there's this personal sessions and there's also classes. Yeah. Group sessions. Yeah.
Nice.
So
So
it's
you
very
could tell,
structured.
right?
Yeah.
You could tell I'm not in the gym. My workouts are not in the gym like that. I just that never worked out for me.
The gym
Um,
doesn't work for me, so that's why I go do the fitness center because that's a waste of time. I don't like the gym.
yeah,
So
I
I take
I'm not
instructions.
I'm not into the gym either.
Hmm.
Uh, and I just, my gym is the dance floor. That's that's how I
And
roll. Oh,
that's the whole thing. You find what works for you,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's it. You know. And
yeah. So
so I'm gonna bring this home with the seventh point, and so I can move on to hydration because we so the
yes,
seventh point is exercise puts the spark back into your sex life. It'll give you more energy, and
that's so
studies
true.
have shown that men who exercise regularly are less likely to have problems with erectile dysfunction. Um,
You hear that,
and
men?
and physical activity may enhance arousal in women. So it's beneficial for for your sex life.
Yes,
And yes,
it
and so I will
benefits your
move
sexual
on.
health.
That's right. I
Hmm.
will move on with hydration, the last topic that I'd like to touch on. And this, there's so many there are so many suggestions out there as to how much water you should drink. Um, every there's I grew up hearing eight eight ounce eight 8 ounces, um 8 ounces of water, 8 glasses, 8 ounces of water, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
eight
I know
eight
eight eight
ounce
ounce
glasses
eight
of water.
8 ounces. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
I know. But for but the root what I use right now is, which I find it's easier to follow, half your body weight in ounces. So whatever you weigh, divided by two, and drink that much in ounces.
Yeah,
As
that's a lot
that's a
easier. That's so
guide.
true.
That's a guide. Because you will find that once you get into a rhythm, you will automatically, once you get in tune with your body, you will know. what it needs. So you will know when you're thirsty and how much that you should drink some water and how much you should drink. And after a while, you wouldn't even have to measure because you wouldn't know how to respond to your body when it needs hydration. And also, if you, let's say you're a person who sweats a lot, you know you'll need to keep replenishing. You, if you sweat a lot, you have to hydrate a lot
Yes.
because you're losing fluids. Um, and also, it's important to remember that a lot of the fruit and vegetables, if you're a fruit and veggies person, it has a water. Most of them is made up of a lot of water, a high water content. So let's say watermelon, uh, high water content, cucumbers, zucchini, um, you know, oranges, such like even broccoli and cauliflower have a high water content. So if you're keeping up with your fruit and veggies, you wouldn't have to stress that much about your water intake because you'll be getting water, you'll be hydrating yourself regardless. But you do have to drink water. But
Right.
you're right. And if you drink herbal teas, that also counts towards your hydration. But if you're adding sugar and milk and such, then that cancels that out a little bit. But natural herbal teas without any additives counts towards your hydration, or coconut water, you know, um, and such like. But it's very important to keep your body in a hydrated state. Um, it, it it helps with your skin, a healthier, glowing skin. We're 60% water, I think. Our bodies are made up of 60% water, so we need
Yes.
to match that and keep yourself hydrated. And for those who like to you know drink alcohol, at times, that dehydrates you. Alcohol dehydrates you. So it's it's helpful when, if you're having a cocktail, to also drink water so you would not be dehydrated. So you hydrate yourself while you're having that cocktail.
To
Mm.
offset the
To offset, yes,
dehydration.
right. And water regulates our body temperature. It keeps our joints lubricated. It helps prevent infections and delivers nutrients to our cells. So, our kidneys um, uh, and liver work hard to get rid of toxins in our bodies. So, and it depends on our water intake in order to do so. So, when you starve your body from adequate water, it makes your organs work so much harder, and that it will break, and it will cause it to break down, and not function the way it should function, and flush your system. So you will have a backup of toxins in your body because your kidney and your liver cannot do its job of irrigating your system. So for me, you know, what some what, I'm the hydration queen. I'm always asking someone, how is your hydration? And so when I suggest that, half your body weight in ounces, it's like that's a lot of water. I said, but if you start early in the morning when you get up, you'll be able to get your required amount in throughout the day. So, and it's always good to flush your system first thing in the morning. The first thing that you put in your mouth should be water. Um,
Water for
and
breakfast.
yeah, and sometimes when you're thirsty, it masks itself as hunger. So the experts suggest that if you feel hungry, try drinking a glass of water and see if it's you were actually thirsty as opposed to hungry. Yeah, so that Also, it will prevent overeating because we're in a society where more is better, and every the portions are so large, and we tend to eat more than we should at one sitting. So, you know, just
That's true.
hydrate, 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 hydrate.
And
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 as they say, you can survive for weeks without food, but you cannot survive for weeks without water.
right.
So, there you go. So that tells you the level of the hierarchy that you actually need water for survival over food. You know,
That's so true. That's so
yeah. So
true.
yeah, and we're constantly losing water and electrolytes when we breathe, when we sweat, when we urine, when we have bowel movements. So we have to replenish our bodies, you know, with water.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes people have a hard time drinking water, and you could squeeze a little lemon in the water to aid in getting what you need, because that's beneficial. Or sometimes you could put um, flavor infused waters with cucumbers, or you can put parsley in the water, and it draws the flavor from whatever it is. Sometimes people put strawberries in the water, and
Piece of fruit. Yeah.
whatever you need to get so you can drink your water. Then you you do what you need to do. Yeah.
That is
So,
so true.
and you need to be properly hydrated if you're looking to lose weight as well. So you know it's important to what exercise.
Eh,
Movement is one thing, but if your nutrition is poor, and if you're not getting enough water, if you're not hydrating enough, then you will not get the optimal results. Actually,
that
you
is
won't
so
get any
true.
results at all. It won't
That's
go in
true.
the direction that you hope for it to go. It will go in it will go south, as they say. So, you know, yeah, in
Left.
order for you to be your best, you have to do your best in those areas that I touched on, in the sleep department, in the nutrition department, in um the hydration department, and in
Exercise.
the movement. Yeah, do the best that you can. And then once you start, then there will be ways that will open up for you to do even better. But you have to start somewhere, you know.
Yes. What
So
are some of your favorite ways that you stay hydrated, Coach?
it's mostly water.
Okay. You
And
drink it
sometimes
straight,
I
chilled.
straight water. Um, some mornings I would have I key lime, squeeze some 2 key limes in about 12 ounces of water and drink that, just to flush my system. There's sometimes I will have coconut water. Um, I drink a
Mm.
lot of tea, so I would have tea, but most my hydration is mostly water, plain old water. Yeah.
I, I I like I like drinking water just straight room temperature. Um,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
just carry, I make sure if I'm going out, I have
You have
what
to have the water.
about, yeah, because especially, you know, after uh after having the when I was perimenopausal and all of that, um, I realized how easily you can become dehydrated.
Very
And
much
like,
so.
yeah, and me, I can tell. One of the things that water, drinking lots of water does is it removes toxins from your body, but it also clears up your skin.
It does,
It
and
clears up your skin. And
it clears
I'm
up your
not a person
skin.
that wears much makeup. I put on lipstick and I'm fully made up. Like what you see here, this is my whole makeup face, okay? Some
Mhm.
lipstick,
Mhm.
but yeah, water. I can tell when I'm low on water. Um, like my like right up under my eyes, it looks sucked in, like you know. So when I drink water, you know, my eyes aren't like you can't see my eye sockets like that,
Okay.
because I have
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Another place that I check to make sure my hydration is up is I'll press on one of my muscles, my hand muscle or arm muscle. If it doesn't bounce right back after you
Yeah.
pressed it on it stays
Yeah.
sunken in like that,
Uh-huh.
then yeah, you need some water. You need some
Right.
water.
And
Um,
also one of the indicators of your state of how hydrated or dehydrated you are is by the color of your urine.
yes,
If it's any, unless you're on medication that alters the color, your urine color. If it's very yellow and other colors, then you need to hydrate. And also,
right,
if you smell it, if you if you smell your urine, that tells you you need some more water because you shouldn't smell it.
right,
It shouldn't have such a pungent smell. Yeah.
right.
And that the same goes for your bowel movement as
That's
well.
true.
It tells you the condition of your gut. If when you go to the bathroom, if you light up the whole place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And when your gut health is good, you don't even need to use air freshener after you flush the toilet. You wouldn't smell anything. But
Right,
if you smell
right.
smell it, that tells you that it's time for a detox or some sort of cleanse to reset your system
That's so
and
true.
and make better choices with food. Yeah.
And that those toxins are sitting in your intestine.
In your gut, yeah.
Yeah, in your
And
gut. If they're sitting there.
the seat of your health is in your gut health.
Yeah,
This so whatever is going on in your gut determines what happens in the rest of your body.
that's so
So
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So drink your water.
Drink your water.
Uh,
Hydrate, hydrate.
I sometimes I'll put a piece of fruit in my water. But I've
Oh,
I've grown accustomed
so just the water. Mhm.
the taste of what just the water. I've gone,
Mhm.
traveled to different states and different places, and the water tastes different. New York
It
has
is.
some of the
It
best
does.
water in the country and in the world, best tasting. Um,
Mhm.
and so I'm really accustomed to the way New York water tastes. And
Yes.
so now, because I live in New York,
Mhm.
I get to, get to drink some of the best. And
Yes.
I definitely indulge. Um, and I like to keep my water near me, so that
Mhm.
As soon as I sometimes I can tell, I can, feel the dryness in my mouth or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get my
You
water.
know right away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so that I can get my half the body weight in
In ounces.
ounces. Yes, I get it in. I get it in.
Yes. Yes. So I hope my presentation, my discussion was beneficial to someone. And we just have in life, you try to do the best that you can so you can, get a better result. Which is it's all personal. You know, if you do your best, you will benefit from it. And I'm always willing to share whatever information that I've learned on my journey. So if you wish to, you know, communicate with me to ask a question or to get some tips, you can reach out to me by email. And it's Yonzi, Yon as in Nancy, S as in Sam, EY at gmail.com. And so I'll be more than happy to share whatever information I have, or if I don't have the information, I can get it. I'll know where to get it. Yeah. Um, and also, I know I touched on four tips for self care, but I'd like to add a bonus. It's important to, you know, as Coach Tahi says, get a checkup from the neck up.
That's right. That's
Right. So if you need a checkup from the neck up, which is also important, while we are busy taking care of the neck down, we also have to take care of the neck up. That is the most important because everything starts in the brain.
that
So
is so true.
deal with your traumas. I know it's tough, so you can reach out to Coach Thais and schedule a session, a life coach session, and get your overall life and health in order. It's
That's
a
it.
win-win situation.
That's
I
right.
Yes.
And
And
if you or somebody you know needs to come into agreement with taking care of their bodies, you can now reach out to Coach Yanet, and she will make sure to put her information in the chat where you can reach out to her. Uh,
yeah.
I just want to
Oh,
thank
yeah.
Coach Yanet for a wonderful presentation tonight. And this is some of the first of many more to come. And if you enjoyed or learned something from this video tonight, make sure you like it, make sure you comment, and make sure you share it with somebody because there was a lot of really good information that you can apply to your life immediately.
Yes.
You can start as soon as tomorrow,
Yes.
implementing some of these things that the coaches has said. And so I just want to thank her for doing an excellent job. And
Thank
I
you.
want to thank all of you for tuning in. And again, reach out to us. And now you can reach out to Coach Yanet. She'll be ready to make sure you are hydrated, you are moving with intention. She'll make sure that you are eating right and making sure that you take very good care of you, yourself, and your body. So,
Yes. I I think I lost my connection on Facebook, so
oh, you
they
did?
can't see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I was busy looking here, but okay. But
Okay.
I think they got most of it, and
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
so thank you all for tuning in tonight
Thank
and
you.
everything. Thank you so much, Coach Yanette.
Thank you so much for give providing me with the opportunity to present, to have a discussion. I know that you know in the future it'll be better. I'll do better, and I'll get really good at it. But
I thought
I
you did
appreciate
a
the
great job.
opportunity.
I thought so.
Thank you.
If you thought so too
Thank you.
out there, make sure you put it in the chat and let her know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yes.
it. Yes.
And don't forget to do your homework, Coach.
Hmm.
You have to watch the video,
Okay. Yes.
and everything. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. And don't forget to let Coach Yanette know how you felt about the presentation tonight and everything. And this is just the beginning as she begins her journey as a coach. I want to thank you all also for helping me as we train and as she receives all of this facilit- facilitatory now. Signing off. I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Something blinked off and then
Yeah,
it blinked
yeah,
back
you
on.
became frozen. It was frozen for a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
All right. I guess that's the tech angels letting us know it's time to sign
It's
off.
time to get off.
Yeah. All right. Well, good night,
All right.
everybody. Thank
Good
you
night.
so
Thank you,
much, Coach
everyone, for
Annette.
tuning
All
in.
right.
Thank you so
Take
much,
care.
Coach Thais. Have a good
No
night.
problem. You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye bye now.